in the darkroom, you need to locate a piece of glass, right? And also, take that glass and put it on your the base of your enlarger. You might see that there's an easel on that enlarger base. Don't leave it there. Remove that. You want the glass on the base. You want the light that's coming from your enlarger to encompass all of the glass. If the light is too low, too small, raise your enlarger head so that you have enough light, okay, to surround that glass. Close your aperture all the way. Right? Close your aperture all the way so that it's the least amount of light coming out. Turn off your light. Take a small piece of paper. We're going to make a test strip to determine our exposure time. We made test strips with what do we make test strips with? The negatives of our about our normal cameras. Excellent. So you're going to take a small piece of paper and put it under your negatives. Right? So I have paper, shiny side up, negatives on top, and now I'm going to put that under the glass. Okay?
With the plastic?
Yeah.
With the plastic, absolutely. I'm not taking them out of the plastic. Notice the glass flattens them out.
Yeah.
If you don't have the glass on top, they're going to be blurry. Okay. So now I'm going to determine my exposure time by turning this to time, turning it to 5 seconds, covering. Let me just show you once again how I arranged the paper here, because I did it a little too fast. I have the paper underneath the negatives, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover everything except for half a strip at the beginning. I'm going to cover everything except for half a strip. And then I'm going to go and uncover a whole strip width and cover half another strip, basically. And then to the next half and next half. And I'll show you why as we look at this in the developer. Okay, so got our photo paper, our negatives, our glass, piece of cardboard, covering everything except for half a strip of film. I'm turning this on for 5 seconds. 1, 2. Turn my timer off, reset 5 seconds, and now I'm moving my cardboard so that it's revealing everything on that first strip and half of another strip. Okay? And now I'm going to turn the light on for 5 more seconds. Turn the light off, turn the light off, turn to 5 seconds. Again, I'm going to reveal up to the next half strip. Do another 5-second exposure. And so remember, we're getting cumulative exposures here, and we'll get to see which exposure time gives us the most information. That's what we're looking for, the most information from our film. Does everybody see what's happening? Yeah. Okay. Any questions while I'm doing this? You always need to make a test strip, unless I tell you your exposure time and aperture, which I can do because I've made test strips. I mean, on contact sheets many times before, and many test strips too. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull this off for the last exposure completely. And I think we have, if you look, the paper didn't go all the way up, but I think we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds of exposure here. So now we're just going to develop this. In the developer here, all I'm looking to see is if it goes completely black or stays completely white. If we start seeing things and a variety of exposures, then we have a good test strip, and we are able to determine what an exposure, correct exposure time shall be. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to analyze it in here, but absolutely, it does look like 15 to me too. So that's 5 seconds, right? That first bit is 5, then 10, then 15, 20, 25, and 30 actually at that last little half there. Okay. So. That looks good. Well, you know what? Normally, I'm going to insist that everybody analyze this outside, but for the sake of time today, I'm just going to make the whole contact sheet right now, and then you guys will get started. Okay, so to make your whole contact sheet, you determine your exposure time in the method we just did, which is making a test strip. So we as a group determined that 10 seconds was the correct exposure time by looking at our test strip. You really should look at your test strip outside. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Right? Okay. So, as all parents said. Okay, I'm not your parent. Anyway, okay. Shiny side up. Now, here's the funny thing. With this sheet of plastic, you'll notice that there's very little extra paper beyond the edge of your film strips. See how the paper really just is completely covered by film? If you're off by 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch, you're going to lose half of a strip of negatives. So you really got to center your negatives on your paper. And I like to give it a little flex, and that's going to hold it there, right? I take my glass, make sure to hold my negatives down on my paper as I push the glass down. Okay? So you need your glass on top, negatives in the middle, paper on the bottom, and then you do your exposure. Any questions about this? Yeah?
Does it have to be horizontal, or can you also do it vertically?
I mean, can I spin this whole thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, spin the whole thing. It's a circle of light, as long as it's within. Yes. I'm not going to sing today. Okay, so now we have our whole contact sheet here, which, if we did it right, will show up, and you'll be able to look at each exposure you made in a very quick way. We're going to look at these using a loop, the little magnifying glass thing, and you also want to mark your contact sheets. Do not just leave them looking pristine. I want you circling pictures that you like, Xing out ones that you don't like. This is note-taking paper, okay? So if there's no questions, I'd like you guys to get started.
Do